Good evening, gang. So here we are. The basketball season is over for games. The CBA season will just be beginning. And I feel like that'll be very soon. But I actually think that there's going to be a deal done. There's not going to be a lockout. There's no way in hell that there will be a lockout. Okay, maybe going out on a limb here, but both sides know that's a disaster. Okay, so it will get done. Maybe, maybe it won't be a long CBA. Maybe it'll be a short-term CBA. It may be that they extend the negotiating deadline between October 31st and the first of the year. They've done that before. But I really do believe it's in everybody's interest, best interest to get this thing settled, okay? And let me just say this, because a lot of what the players want is not just based on salary, okay? There are other considerations that they are looking for, such as a bigger piece of the pie, but there are even things beyond that. So it's not all money related, okay? Understand that. Now, that being said, let's talk about this Project B thing because it's like exploded everywhere. They've offered Caitlin Clark a $50 million contract. Okay. Bingo. Not true. Okay. They have offered her nothing. I can find nothing out there in any reliable media outlet that talks about Plan B or Project B offering her that kind of money. All I've read is that they're looking for investors. Okay. They say it's going to happen in 2026, no matter what. And they have the services of one WNBA star promised to them, and they have not named her. Okay, it is not Caitlin Clark. There is no $50 million contract. Now we have Mick Talks Hoops making a video that she's responded to Project B. She's responded to no one because no one's approached Caitlin Clark. Okay, this stuff is all clickbait. Okay, all clickbait. And believe me, I don't consider Mick Talks Hoops like I consider the other jerks making content, although some of his stuff is shady and shaky. This is definitely shady and shaky, okay? This is not on Caitlin Clark's radar. She's not going to jump to Project B. Like I said, no matter what anyone's feelings are about the WNBA, okay? I have never seen any league not go through some kind of, you know, crap on its way to legitimacy. And that includes the NBA, okay? That includes the NBA, all right? So spare me all of that nonsense, okay? There's one legitimate basketball league for women, and it's the WNBA, okay? The others are pretenders to the throne, in my opinion. 3-on-3 is not legitimate basketball, okay? Athletes Unlimited, it's 5-on-5 years, but the way they score, and they have all this complicated method of scoring and all that kind of stuff. You know, that's not basketball, okay? It's showtime is what it is, okay? It's a divergence. It's a place for the players to go after the season is over or before the season begins. All right? So there is nothing going on with Project B with Caitlin Clark. Okay? This is all just conjecture, flat out made up shit. Honestly, okay? When they contact Caitlin Clark, all right, it will be known. It will be in Sportskeeda or Athlon Sports or Sports Illustrated, okay? It'll be somewhere. But the only place I see it right now is John the Liquidator, Mick Talks Hoops, and a couple of AI-related content creators. So to me, that's not legitimate information, okay? So we're going to table that. However, Mick Talks Hoops did make a video tonight that caught my eye. And and I want to ask you folks what you think. He is talking about, and I agree with him, a power forward for the Indiana Fever. And I've been saying they need a power forward. Okay. Now, could Michaela Timpson be that power forward? Absolutely. But she's a rookie. She's young. Okay. She's a baby. She's got a lot of development to go through. So if the Fever wants to contend next year, I think they need a power forward that's ready to hit the ground running. Okay. So, you look at the free agents out there, okay? I know Asia Wilson is available. Um, I don't think Asia Wilson is a good fit for the Fever. Okay, it's a personality thing, but I don't think she is. Brianna Stewart's available. Okay, I love Stewie, I do, but I don't think she's leaving New York. Um, there's a bunch of other people too that are, Nafisa Collier is available. Um, I don't see that happening. Okay. But um, Mick Talks Hoops mentioned Azure Stevens as the person they should go after as a power forward. She's 29 and a half years old. Okay. Same age as essentially, that's the age of Sophie Cunningham. Okay. Um, and she is a unrestricted free agent. Current salary, $195,000. So what do you guys think of that? I mean, there's a lot of forwards out here on the free agent list, but I'm interested in what you guys think of Azure Stevens as a power forward coming to the Indiana Fever. Because I'm looking at some other names here, and some of them, I wouldn't go after. Just out of interest, let me just let you know that Damaris Dantas is also a free agent, and she is available. She's 32 years old. And like I said, that's always a possibility, but I don't think that Damaris Dantas plays power forward basketball. She's not an inside muscle. She's not that player. Okay. I like her. I do. But I think in order to contend, the Fever need a power forward who can provide some muscle in the front court to help out Aaliyah Boston so that Aaliyah Boston can be a dominant center in the paint. Okay. And like I said, you know, if we're going to go, let's bring Temi back. Where did she go? Why? Why did she go anywhere? She played great with Caitlin Clark. She's a floor runner. Okay. Listed as a center, but you know what? I really like her, and I don't know why. She's 33 years old. She's making current salary $90,000. So we'll see. I don't know. I don't know who it will be, but I hadn't thought about Azure Stevens until he mentioned her. So I'd like to know what you guys think about that. Do you think that's a good fit for the Fever? Um, so that's what I have for basketball tonight, but I do have some highlights. And so what I have here is something I found today. And we go through highlights where we show CC shooting, logo threes, and then we have some where she's, passing the ball, crazy kind of passing, okay? But the one piece that's been missing is just her footwork, her dribbling, and her moves. Because I think out of all the three major things in her arsenal and her offensive arsenal, that's the area that nobody kind of pays attention to. And I finally found a video where somebody pays attention to that skill. Okay, I think she's pretty elite. I think she's elite as an athlete anyway. I think she is an elite basketball player. I think she's a generational talent. Unbelievable. I don't think it can be denied. And anybody who's denying it is just, quite frankly, full of shit. Okay? But the way she fakes people out, and she's deceptive, all right? And she can look like she's gonna, like there's gonna be a blown play, and she could turn it into like a major freaking offensive move. And I've honestly never seen anybody do that, except maybe Larry Bird. And I'll say that again. So I got this great highlight reel. I wish there wasn't commentary in it. I wish it was just highlight reel, but I can handle this guy's commentary. So we're going to take a look at part of it, not all of it. But again, I will put it in the body of the video for you guys. So we're going to pull it up here and really have some fun.
Snatching people's ankles.
Well, Caitlin Clark, one thing she got is handles.
To putting them into spin cycles and blenders.
Caitlin Clark, because there we go with another behind the back and fancy finish.
These are the wildest and craziest footwork of Caitlin Clark this season. Now, to kick things off, how about we check out this shifty move that instantly put her defender in the rear view.
There is no question that the paint is a completely different story as Clark just went right by her.
Damn, that girl needs to activate her GPS real quick, because she's looking pretty lost out there. And the same thing can be said of Dejonae Carrington, because in this next play, CC puts her on skates before making space for the long bomb.
Shoulder. Austin had her 11th double-double of the season, and Clark hits a three.
I mean, that move was so disgusting that one of Carrington's eyelashes popped out and fell on the ground. Yikes. But see, none of that can be compared to the moment when Caitlin put Dallas under her wings with this behind-the-back special.
And I was like, what do they feed the players in Texas?
Going downhill at full speed, then switching gears in traffic? Man, that's CC going a little bit fancy. And since it was so nice, we've got to see it twice. But this time around, coming from a different angle and point of attack.
And into the mix, Clark goes behind her back to get...
Anyway, I know you're craving for more after seeing those clips. But for now, why don't we take a step back? Just like how Caitlin did it when she torched the girls from Hollywood in clutch time.
Clark has space, she's gonna let it fly, and she's...
Damn, that's the real definition of an ice-cold dagger in my book. Well, speaking of daggers, check out the amount of real estate CC created here, after punishing her defender for sticking too close.
Clark working on Van Loo. Oh, Clark, pretty step back, hits a three.
I mean, if you give Caitlin this much airspace, you can bet your entire life savings that it's gonna be pure butter once the rock leaves from the fingertips of the Iowan phenom. And see, even against contact, CC can still deliver like a reliable DoorDash driver, just like what she did here versus the Connecticut Sun.
Here's Clark with Banham guarding her. Clark gets bumped, will take, and...
First, she kills her with a crossover, then bumps her off the scene before dropping the three-point bucket on her head. Man, that's tough. But you know what's really tough? This is tough.
Good turnover for rookies like Clark as she weaves her way inside.
CC ran full steam ahead all the way from the back court and just weaved her way against four white shirts in traffic, plus the foul. Man, going up against multiple defenders is never easy. But for Caitlin, it's just another day at the office. I mean, just take a look at this play right here.
Wallace trying to clear 8, shot clock down to 9. Here as Clark gets inside, the scoop shot full.
Again, Caitlin snakes her way after the handoff and just flips it over to the outstretched arms of the health defender. Whoo-wee, that one is smooth. Well, speaking of smooth, there's nothing smoother than this next play when Cece gave Bridget Carlton her SportsCenter moment. Warning, viewer discretion is advised.
Clark.
God damn, Caitlin did her dirty right there, forcing her to clean the floor even though she isn't a janitor. Now, while that play really put Cece on the headlines, I'm pretty sure this next one has the same feel to it. But see, more than that, it's also just as nasty and disgusting.
Great.
And we're going to expect a big night here for Cunningham. She does a good job stepping in when she needs to.
I mean, we're talking about pulling off a sham god with live defenders swarming around, then capping it off with a tough bucket underneath. Sweet Jesus. Anyway, Cece's handles are definitely off the charts, and don't be fooled if it looks like she's about to lose the ball, because in the end, she'll make you pay if you put your guard down.
Defend and stop other players from other teams scoring.
Well, last year Indiana was 10th in pace. Christy Sides telling us.
Like, even if you put her under intense pressure, Caitlin can simply squeeze her way out of tight spots because she's as cool as a cucumber.
Now by Dee Richards as she's into the ball game. Richards on the floor. Clark, the step back three just below.
And see, blitzing her will only do more harm than good, because she can simply slither her way through double teams with no sweat.
Didn't get one. Now Will from Boston splits the double team. She'll flip it up to the right.
I mean, with so many weapons inside her deep bag, teams have no clue how to stop her. And sometimes they just lag behind because they don't know what she's gonna do next.
Clark thought about pulling up from three. Will dip inside and lay.
Since they know she can kill them from range, Cece lures them out first, then uses that slight hesitation to punish them inside. The right word to describe Cece is that she's deceptively quick. Like, the thing that truly makes her dangerous is that she can switch tempo as fast as Angel Reese grabs a rebound after breaking her own shot. I mean, here's what I'm talking about.
Able to clear for Indiana.
Caitlin coming off that 20-point performance right here. Handling it.
If you look closely, it's basically down to two things. One is the shift of her body weight, which is followed by the sudden change of direction. And just like that, folks, another defender bites the dust. But see, it's not always broken down to science whenever Cece tries to blow by her defenders, because most of the time, she just lets her instincts kick in, like what she did here against Dallas.
Clark gets away with a little push. Fall away, buries it. And a little...
Man, oh man, I didn't know that making a grown-ass woman dance like that could be classified as a crime. Well, speaking of crime, check out how she locked up and jailed her defender here with this fancy footwork that'll make Dirk Nowitzki smile from Germany.
The rookie defending the other rookie. Caitlin Clark.
She cooked her with a hezzy crossover combo, followed by an up and under before drilling the one-legged fader. I mean, that's just silky smooth. And since we're talking about smooth stuff, just look at how Caitlin bruised this girl, like ground coffee. Then caps it off with a tough bucket afterward.
Clark working on Cunningham, gets inside. Clark
behind the back, between the legs, and if that's not enough, she put her in the weight
That's
room and
Sophie right
converted
there.
the and one.
Trying to defend her.
That ain't fair. Anyway, Cece's handles are just so underrated, because even though it looks like she's about to lose control, Caitlin can still turn a bad play into an instant highlight.
On the court.
Watch that inside hand, that left hand.
Well, I know I may get a lot of bashing by saying this, but to me, Caitlin has the best handles in the W right now, and it's not even close. I mean, from inside to outside, there's just no way of stopping Cece from getting her bucket.
So, gang, I mean, I think right now for this week, that's been my favorite video because it highlights just how good she is. I mean, she's, like I said, her basketball intelligence, her basketball IQ is off the charts. And, she's unpredictable. And it shows in the way people find it difficult to defend her. So the other thing I think is important to remember is, a lot of people making the comment this whole season about her being looking good and looking healthy and why isn't she playing and all of this stuff. If you watch the way she moves out there is no way she could do that with the injury she had this year, okay? Because I mean, just watch the way she moves on the court, the cuts that she makes, the changes in tempo, the changes in direction. There's no way you could play that way and be effective with a groin injury. And I've been saying all year long the reason her three-point shooting was off is because she could not use her legs properly. In the games where she was healthy, she'd be out for 2 weeks, she'd come back for 5 games. At the beginning of that 5-game cycle where she was healthy, she was hitting. Okay? It's when she's playing in a compromised physical state. And that's true of any player that plays basketball or any other sport. You are just not going to be what you normally are when you're healthy. So there's a difference between shooting around on a basketball court with your teammates and doing that kind of stuff in a real game situation. So that's what I got tonight. Next video, I think, will be highlights from this season because there are several games where she was crazy good. And if you look at her stats for the season, I know she only played 13 games. She wasn't that far off her rookie season in terms of numbers. And I can only imagine what she would have done had she been healthy the whole season. But we do have at least 20 plays this year to show. Now, I'm going to give you fair warning. The guy narrating this, the next video I show, which will probably be tomorrow sometime, will definitely be tomorrow sometime, will drive you crazy. Okay, this guy wasn't bad. But the guy tomorrow will drive you crazy. But you know what? It's worth it to watch it just to see the highlights. Just, put earplugs in or shut your voice. You can just turn off the sound because you know what you're looking at. You know what basketball looks like. You're a basketball fan. You don't need to listen to him. You can just watch the highlights. So I will talk to you guys tomorrow. I hope you have a great rest of the night. Let me know what you think of Azure Stevens as a potential power forward for the Fever for 2026. Because I had been looking at that list and I did see her name there and I do know of her a little bit, but I hadn't really thought about it until he mentioned it. So I will talk to you guys very soon.